First off, let me start by saying I really like this game. It's so weird. It's one of my top games of the year so far. Might be my indie game of the year. I think by the time all the awards and everything start going out. It's not without its flaws, but I had an absolute blast playing this game. So Paradise Killer is a detective game. You play as Lady Love Dies, an exiled detective who's been recalled to investigate the murder of the council. The council are this group that run this current iteration of Paradise. It's a world that they keep rebuilding every time it falls to a tragedy. And in this particular instance, the council were murdered just as the current island or Paradise was shutting down, and the last few inhabitants were about to be moved to the new island. You have to interrogate the remaining island inhabitants, you have to investigate the crime scene, and you have to explore the rest of the island to discover clues and try and disprove or corroborate everyone's alibi, and eventually try and catch the murderer. So the game is stylish. It really embraces the vaporwave themes and aesthetics. The island itself is really pretty. It's a beautiful paradise. I mean, it is supposed to be a paradise, right? And like the music, the UI, the visuals of the island, they're all really tied into this vaporwave aesthetic. So the cast of characters is equally pretty strange, all with these really funky designs. I'll show you a couple of them now. So this guy is Yuri Knight. He's actually one more subdued looking of some of the inhabitants, unlike this guy, who's just a big old red skeleton bartender ex-assassin. Yeah, and whatever the hell Shinji is. Shinji's a demon. We know that much about him, but interesting character aesthetic there. You can see the game really embraces its very bizarre aesthetic, and it even goes into the UI, for example. If I bring up Starlight is basically your note keeper, and you can see it's got this really kind of glitchy early 90s look to it. And it's where you can keep track of your case files, check out other characters, check out the evidence that they've got stacked against them, things like that. But it all does this in this really strange looking UI, and it's consistent throughout it, and it really does embrace the vaporwave style. Or beneath the visual style of the game lies a very clever detective story. You're going to end up thinking you've got a handle on it, and then you'll have like this, you'll have like a eureka moment and think, oh, I've cracked it. I think I know what's going on. And then immediately followed by that, you're going to end up with a feeling of just confusion. You'll be like, wait, hang on. If this person did this, then how did that happen? So this will happen quite often as you're playing through it. But it's a very clever game, very clever story tied to the game. The game is open world, so you can basically, you're encouraged to explore everything and go wherever you can. And it kind of works both for and against it in some ways. Like, I did feel a little bit overwhelmed when I was exploring the island, because I was like, I didn't want to forget to explore an area. Whereas at the same time, I really liked how there's no like time pressure on a particular line of inquiry. I never felt like I was being rushed to do this, and I felt like, okay, if I'm stuck on a particular lead, I could just drop it, look at my case file, and go, okay, maybe I should try this instead. And yeah, I'd end up making progress elsewhere. And ultimately, all the cases that you pick up and you end up pursuing all tie into the main murder of the council, which you've been called there to investigate in the first place. So I mentioned earlier that I had a couple of gripes with the game. They mainly center around like the character movement and the fast travel system. Character movement, like the walking around is fine, running is fine. There are some sections where you can jump, or maybe platforming is necessary to actually get to where you want to go. I did find the jumping, the character isn't very agile, and to be fair, it's not really a platformer. So the game, you can get away with not really jumping a whole bunch, but you might find yourself kind of stuck in some situations, and the jump doesn't quite work in your favor sometimes. So I didn't quite enjoy that. And the next thing was the fast travel system. The fast travel system costs blood crystals to use, and it's fine using the crystals to unlock them, but they're a finite resource, and fast traveling is not the only thing you use them for. They are pretty plentiful across the island, to be fair. They're pretty much ever. Like, I've already walked past like several of them in this video. And yeah, because of that, because they are a finite resource, towards the end I did find myself considering my use of them, even though I wanted to go back across the island to check a thing and then go right back across the island. Would have been faster to fast travel, obviously, but I struggled to feel like, okay, should I use this crystal now or should I save it later? Because I don't know if I'm going to be using it again later, or need to use one later when I can't find one. So I didn't quite like that aspect of it. I mean, like, it kind of ties to the whole fast traveling thing, but the map isn't great either. I showed you the map previously in the UI thing, but that's pretty much it. And I actually missed at least one or two areas because there's really no detail in this map. I couldn't tell where I was. Like, it tells me I'm here, but I'm not really, like, it doesn't really tell you what level you're on, where you are exactly on the island. So I did kind of struggle with using the map a wee bit to find out like how to get to a particular place, because yeah, there's no real signposts anywhere. It took me a while to find some key locations. I actually even had to Google one location that was important to try and break somebody's alibi or confirm somebody's alibi. And yeah, I actually had to Google to find out where it was, because I thought I'd explored the area, but it turns out I'd been there. I was there too early, didn't really know what I was meant to do there, and then I just forgot all about it, and turns out it was pretty important. So yeah, the map hasn't always helped me when I've been searching for things. So those issues aside, I loved going around this world, exploring, finding new clues, confronting suspects, and the trial at the end was genuinely quite tense. And so I absolutely loved my experience playing this game. If you liked Phoenix Wright, The Return of the Obra Dinn, with maybe like a dash of The Witness and Murder by Numbers, I think you'll really love this game. If you like this video, then please consider giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment. It really helps the channel grow, makes the video appear in the YouTube algorithm. And let me know in the comments, or on Twitch or on Twitter. Links will be wherever down below and I think on screen at this point. Let me know what your favorite detective games were, who your favorite characters were, things like that, if you've played Paradise Killer. And if you haven't, let me know, would you consider playing it now? Did this review do it for you? And yeah, thank you for watching. As always, happy gaming.